All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome, everyone. I'm your host. I'm Good Kitty. I'm the founder of BlockTune Music, and we are hitting off episode 3 of our series that we're doing, where we are going to be talking to musicians who are working together to release a brand new album, probably the first album on Stax. It is called When Walls Break, and we are releasing on the 19th of November. Two of the artists that we're going to feature today are Arno Carstens and Evert Snyman. They have both recorded 2 original tracks, or an original track each, for the album, along with 6 other musicians. We've got 8 in total. And each of the musicians have collaborated with 8 artists to produce artwork for the tracks. You're not going to find this music anywhere else but on Stax, on our brand new platform called Gated, which is being developed by Gary Ryder. And right now, you can head over to gated.so and you can listen to 30-second clips of each of the tracks to help you decide if you want to purchase the full album or if you want to purchase track by track. And there is a special little Easter egg for you if you do purchase the full album. And all I can say is that it's been created by our very special, very own artist, Reese Swanepoel. Okay, I just want to give a quick intro to what Stax is in case you are not familiar with it. It is a Bitcoin layer 2, and it adds scalability and smart contracts to Bitcoin. This enables creators to build on the world's most secure blockchain and hardest money. To get started, you're going to need to download a Leather wallet, and there's a link in the description below. And you're going to need to get some stacks, STX, to purchase the tracks. This is all powered by BlockTune Music, and here at BlockTune, we hope to, or we're building towards creating a future where artists have more control over their music while being able to connect directly with their fans. I also just want to thank Bitcoin Live TV before we kick off for making this series possible. Thank you to Nick, who is producing the show for us today behind the scenes. Okay, let us get into the show. I am super, super excited to be talking to Arno Carstens and Evert Snyman, both of whom, as I've said, are featured on When Walls Break. And please stick around until the end of the show, because we are going to be bringing you some live music. You're going to get the first listen to Mortals on a Carstens track, and I Shouldn't Break by Evert Snyman. So very, very excited to bring this music to you. It's first for us here at BlockTune and for When Walls Break. So fingers crossed, everything goes according to plan. So I just want to introduce the musicians. Let's kick off with you, Arno. You are a solo artist. You are the front man for the Springbok Nude Girls, and you are also a fine artist. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how Springbok Nude Girls started and what led you to pursue a solo career? So just a quick sort of roundup of you as a musician.
Hi, yes, so I'm Arno Carstens, and I've been doing music for about 30 years or whatever, around there. So we started out in, Springbok Nude Girls started out in about 1993, 94, and it was at the same time as Nelson Mandela came out of jail, so there was what we called in South Africa Madiba magic. There was a great feeling all around the country, especially around the students of that time, which were us. We were in our early 20s. So obviously the vibes were fantastic in the country. For the first time, our music wasn't banned and we felt like we were part of the world. And so Springbok Nude Girls jumped onto the the zeitgeist of that time. And because of the name and the fact that I think we had a trumpet in the band, which was interesting for the grunge era. We had an original sound and we did pretty well. And then afterwards, we kind of reached the ceiling and the band decided to break up. So I was sort of forced into a solo career. But it was an inevitable thing to happen because that's what happened in bands. So I did my solo career and it did pretty well because I went from the heavy rock vibe to the more acoustic singer-songwriter world. And also experimenting with all the things that I love, you know, a little bit of electronica and all kind of different things. So that is my solo career. And then before I did music, I studied graphic art, but I didn't finish my studies. And in school, I was an avid kind of fine artist. My dream was to become a fine artist. So as the music kind of thing did its bit and the energy subsided, I kind of returned, as the wheel turns, I returned to the painting world. About 2 years before COVID, I went fully balls deep into painting. And then eventually that led to meeting Good Kitty, of course, into the world of the NFTs and the digital art world, which is where we are now. It's thanks to Good Kitty, I've been there quite early from the ordinals world and the NFT world, and it's been an incredible ride. The venture into this new technology of Web3.
Yeah, thanks, Arno. What a career, spanning sort of 30 years and moving from this kind of heavy rock band into your solo career. So yeah, super interested to kind of hear what you've put together for the album for us. Just want to mention that is in Arno's solo capacity. Both Evert and Arno are sort of working in their solo capacity here for the album, and the tracks are kind of singer-songwriter. You can see Arno's acoustic guitar there in the background, so that's the kind of vibe for the rest of for when we listen to the tracks later. Evert, yeah, you've released music as well as a solo artist. You've also got Evert Snyman and the Avery, so I'm keen to hear the difference between that. And we see you in your studio, so you're also a producer. I suppose, so also kind of a career that spans a lot. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it, how you got into it, and did you always know you wanted to be a musician or producer, or where did you start first? So I think let's give a little intro to you as well.
Okay, well, I grew up in a very musical family, was always surrounded by music. My dad was a great piano player as well. I don't know, but like what happened with me, I think when I started doing music properly, I think it was around 14, went to go record a place and it just sounded terrible to me. It didn't sound to what I had envisaged in my head. So I thought, well, I can learn how to do this myself. So for about the past 20, 25 years, I've been recording myself and the bands I've been in. So it's always just been like a passion of mine. Like I love the producing side of stuff. Also love playing. I don't know, I kind of get bored doing one thing at a time. So it's a pretty good, let's say it's a pretty good job to have, because I need to meet a lot of people, or I get to meet a lot of people, and get to meet a lot of amazing musicians and stuff. With solo stuff, I mean, I've always just been in bands, and then I end up playing everything on the recordings anyway. So then I think by end of 2019, 2020, I thought, well, I'm just gonna do my own thing now. And the great thing for me, well, the one great thing for me is like I've always loved putting songs together, right? So for me, being able to play an instrument on a thing or doing that's always been my dream. And I mean, it's become part of my job. I do that a lot also for clients. My studio, Pariah Studios, will get like solo artists coming in and then they don't have a band. So I like doing that. I like writing my own music. I love playing in bands. And yeah, just generally, my career is, I think, a bit more the last while. I've become a lot more known for the music that I record or the bands that I record than I think for my own music. But I mean, for each his own. I just love being able to do things that I love. I've got I don't know, maybe a weird perspective on stuff. It's changed a lot. I think when I was younger, I wanted to just be a rock star and do all that stuff, kind of stuff. Still want to do that. I mean, you'll never want to stop doing that. But I also just love the process of taking things apart and putting them together now with recordings and all that kind of stuff. Don't know if that that answers it.
Yeah, no, what a story as well. I didn't know that you came from this kind of heavy music family as well, so that's interesting to hear. Do you find, I want to sort of talk with you both about sort of creative process, but I want to ask you, Evert, do you find that working with all these bands influences you as a songwriter or you as a musician who creates your own stuff? Or do you sort of have a very defined, okay, this is me as Evert Snyman and this is me as a producer? Or do they sort of, is there a crossover?
I mean, like, for instance, like with me, Evert Snyman, that's when I play everything. If I have the Avery with me, that's when my band also partly plays with it. But I mean, I think you never stop learning. And I think if you play with as many people as possible, I mean, I can't read music. So the only way that I can learn a new technique or learn a new chord or whatever, I mean, there's all these educational tools online where you can probably learn these things easier. But I prefer, I don't know, learning from watching people play and like, that's a pretty cool trick. Maybe I should try that. Like you never stop learning that. And I mean, and that's, you can probably apply that to everything in life. You never stop learning. And for me, it's just like a never ending quest of getting more techniques and more ways to write songs or to record songs. I mean, for me, it's very hard to separate well, I mean, it's very hard for me as well to listen to music, a lot of different music, because I'm always going to be thinking technically, how did they make it? How was it recorded? Was that kind of stuff? My head goes into a total tangent. But from a songwriter's point of view, I think if you feel it and it feels good, that's what matters. It shouldn't matter whether people like it or people don't like it. Do you like it? Does it sound good to you? Does it evoke emotion? I mean, music in general, if it's sincere, and for me, and it's about the human condition, there's no way not to. I mean, you can hear if something comes from the heart. You can hear if something is, people are motivated with emotion, that kind of stuff. That's what makes music good. Actually feeling it. Because I mean, you can be the best singer on earth, but if you have no personality or no conviction, it's just going to sound, I don't know, watered down. And at the same time, I'd much rather listen to a band that maybe isn't technically that good, but the music is good, than listen to a band that's really good, but the music is maybe not like my taste, because it's just going to emphasize how much I don't like the music that's written. I think that's the way I think about it.
Yeah, you mentioned like a lot of nuggets there, I think, or a lot of good points, like the fact that you never stop learning. I think that's such an important thing in life, whether you are a musician or whatever you do in life, never stop learning. And I think, so you said something else as well. What did you say right at the end there? I felt like it was so, do you remember? Because it was another great comment.
If you don't do what you love,
yes,
it's gonna suck.
Yes, you got to do what you love. And that's the thing with musicians. Oh, that's what you're talking about, which I love, is like there's so many singers, because if you can imagine how many people in the world have got great voices, that there's so many of them, but not many of them succeed. And I think it's got to do with that. It's got to do with that energy that you put into, because live performance is obviously how you sort of build your fan base and whatever.
You have to believe it. Someone's singing, And I mean, that happens a lot when I'm recording people. They'll sing their line, and then it's like, okay, you executed that right, but I don't believe you. It's not, it just doesn't, that's what it's all about. It's conviction is the main thing.
Yeah. Some great points there, Evert. Thanks. Arno, let's talk to you as well, because I mean, obviously you started off in a band and then you moved into being a solo artist. What was that like for you, going from all these years kind of being on the road with this band, recording with this band, and then it's breaking up and now you're a solo artist, you've got to start almost like all over again with your career. How was that for you? And how did your creative process kind of move through that? Were you heavily influenced as a solo artist by the Springbok Nude Girls? You know,
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So, okay. So going from a band to solo, you know, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. What are you going to do? What is your next step? So first, I was going to start a band, another heavy band called Skullfuckers. But then my manager said, and I also said, like, I'm sick of screaming. I've been screaming for 7 years at people. So if I just maybe, I believe in my songwriting capabilities, and I knew it was inevitable. So I was prepared to put in the work to go solo. Of course, you instantly realize that there's more pressure on you and that you're carrying the whole thing. But it's the pros of it is now you've got more control, almost full control about the music, which is fantastic. But also you realize eventually that the cool parts about being in a band was because of it's 5 different people giving their input into songs like Giant Love Affair or these Springbok Nude Girls songs. They are just so massive. The productions are incredibly big, well produced, and quite spectacular pieces of music. So in a way, when I'm solo, I've got albums that it's really good productions, but I do feel the grandiose of the Springbok Nude Girls lack maybe in my stuff. But so you compare, maybe you will be comparing your own career to your band's career, but it has to be different. Your solo career is obviously going to reflect more of your, you know, like I don't have enough patience to sit and write out colossal pieces of music. For me, what is important is the melody, the lyrics, and if it's a kick-ass song, then it must be obviously nice groove and, you know, a nice effects and stuff. If it's a beautiful type of ballad, then it's got to have good lyrics and sung with conviction, like Evert says. So everything influences the other thing, but times change.
Did you feel kind of, after leaving the band, did you feel exposed as a songwriter and a vocalist, because you kind of were surrounded by these musicians, and then it was very much, you know, I mean, I've heard it said that kind of with the Nude Girls, you practically didn't write the lyrics down. You kind of went in together and you just sort of worked and these songs happened. Whereas as a solo artist, was there more focus in the songwriting? What was the difference between the creative process?
Okay, so the Springbok Nude Girls, when we were young, obviously it's in Afrikaans, I call it storm and drankjare. It's just kind of wild energy, and the 90s was quite aggressive as well. So we would like bubblegum on my boots. I wanted to when I came up with the line, I thought, this is like a no-brainer. That is like a brilliant chorus. The rest of the song, there was no lyrics. Same for Genie and a lot of that stuff. So when we recorded it, we used to do takes. You do a lot of takes, and then luckily on those takes, my lyrics were really good. It was a good take. So, and that stuck. I just checked out that there was a lady on here who asked if the Springbok Noodles, if the name came to me in a dream. Yes, it's true. This was, I think I was 22 or something, or 23. I'm not sure. But anyway, my girlfriend went to work. I think I woke up the morning still a bit drunk, and I was between sleeping and passed out. And while she was getting dressed, the guy on the radio was saying, and tomorrow night, the Springbok Noodles will be appearing live on. And I knew I was dreaming it up. So I quickly wrote down the name, and I kept it for the meeting later that day when I told them about my grand idea. Anyway.
I just want to say hi to a couple of people that are in the room. Hello, Hattie. Super awesome to have you here. We've also got Peace Love Music. Peace Love Music is from Deorganized Media. They're also streaming this to their show. So super awesome to have you here, Peace. Thank you. Stu and the Welsh fam representing Welsh. Good to have you here. We've also got Art Matthews here. Art is also on the album. So how's it, Art? I'm
Hey,
so glad.
Art.
Super cool. Yeah. Hey, Art. Jamie as well. He misses making cassette tapes. Just you guys, you brought out cassette tapes, Arno, when you first started with the Nude Girls, right?
We brought out one. It was called The Missing Fling, and it was sort of it was kind of recordings from different shows. It's horrible, utterly horrible. But anyway, we did it.
Yeah, so just wanted to say hi to Dietrich as well. Really cool to have you here. And I see who else did I see was in the audience? I saw a couple of people here that I wanted to say. Oh, Miss Gecko, you're here as well. So yeah, thanks guys for joining. Good to have you here. Okay, let's talk about career highlights. I mean, you guys have both been in the music industry for a very, very long time. Evert, I mean, you've worked with some very cool bands, so I'm sure there's a lot of highlights there.
Yes, what's the band called that you used to be with just now? Just took a little bit.
Pollinator? That was one of my bands.
To say all the bands you've been in. I like Pollinator. It sounds fantastic. Is that a verb?
Actually, well, that name of that band came from, it was me and my ex-girlfriend. We were watching a video about what the smell that grass makes after you cut it, and that's like a pheromone that it gives off, and it basically the grass is saying that it's in pain. And I thought, and it's yeah, and then we just thought like that the name stuck, so I just thought that'd be great. But that was a very fun band. We had 3 very different people. More of my stuff was the heavy stuff. Then Louise, our bass player, she did more of the 80s stuff, and then our drummer did more of like the jazzy kind of stuff. And we just kind of combined that together. It was a very, very, very weird band. And like the one album we made, I think it was like 17 tracks, and we fit it into 45 minutes. That was like the only prerequisite. Everything we did it on our own terms, very much, I think, as well. Very, very fun live show. Very fun band. But I mean, also it's like you also want to start doing your own things, and then if it's a democracy with 3 people and one person doesn't like it, then we don't play it, and then eventually everything just takes too long. Hence going solo and doing my own thing. But yeah. And also got a new band called Max Damage as well. I started with Max Scomberg, who mainly does the vocals and drums. I do the guitar. Then what else have we got? I kind of lose track of all the stuff that I do because let's say I've basically got my finger in every pie, for lack of a better term. But yeah.
Cooking pies, that's what it's all about.
Ongoing,
Pardon?
it's an ongoing machine.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Arno,
like,
sorry, Evert.
I'm saying, like, at the end of your life, like in 20 years, be like, you know, I made a lot of music. This is great. Then you can die.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Never stop creating. You said, no.
Love it.
Arno, I'm sure over the course of the 30 years that you've been producing music, there's been some real highlights for you. Springbok Nude Girls, Arno Carstens solo. You know, you've toured all over the world. You've won a number of awards. So I guess it's difficult to pick out what really stands out. But what is it for you?
I can tell you. So basically, the best stuff is always the first time. The first time you hear your song on radio, then the first time you win an award for your music, that means you're on the right track in a way. And then it's always, because we were quite secluded in South Africa, the first time we played with an international band, like our first band was In Excess before Michael Hutchinson died. So that was a moment to remember and to reflect on. And of course, you know, playing with Rolling Stones and U2, it's amazing when you play with other bands because you're behind the scenes and you're a fly on the wall and you can see what's happening. And if you meet enough of these people, you realize that the more successful they are, the nicer they are, actually, because they're probably so grateful. But so, and then also, for instance, I also feel like I'm definitely on the other side of midnight when it comes to my career. So about 2 years ago or something, the Springbok Noodles, we got back together again and we've made 2 albums again. And the last album we won another award, Salma Award for, and that felt really good because we weren't expecting any more of stuff like that, because, you know, I heard Robert Smith say in an interview the other day that even if The Cure brings out the best album right now, people will always want their old stuff because that is what their history is about, their relationship with the music. So it was a nice feeling to, at such a late stage in our career, to win another little award. So it means we might actually be getting better. We might lose something with age, maybe the wild ignorance energy, ignorant energy kind of thing that creates quite wild stuff. But the older you get, the better you get at production. I think you sometimes actually you actually sing better as well, until a certain age when it really goes down. But yes, that's what I've got to say.
Guys, it's interesting because, you know, you've both done, you know, you've performed and collaborated with so many artists, and now you're collaborating with each other.
Yay!
You're working on a project together. Do you want to tell me about it? I mean, I've heard a couple of the tracks. It seems to be a very different sound for you, Arno. I don't know if it's, you know, because I know Arno sort of went from the heavier stuff with the Nude Girls to his more sort of chilled out solo stuff. So he's kind of moving back into like you've brought this the old Arno back in a way. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, well, what I can tell you is, when I was think about 14 or 15, right? First time I saw a proper live band, it was Springbok New Girls, and I was like, "Fuck, this is sorry, swearing. This is awesome. I wanna do this, you know." So it's kind of like a full circle thing for me. But on the other side as well is like, I always loved all of that heavy stuff and seeing that heavy stuff live. So I was like, "Oh, I want to make some heavy stuff with Arno. This will be awesome." Because I already just knew that it would sound great and it would be. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. The thing that's great is we work very well together, and it's kind of very much a stream of consciousness kind of thing. So, I mean, I make all the music before he gets here and before we start recording, and then he just on the. It's like I don't know how the hell he does it. He just It just comes out of him. It just works very well. I'm very excited about the tunes. It's very different to what I'm actually doing at the moment, which is quite ironic. Like all my new stuff that I'm bringing out now, I think next year is going to be a lot more singer-songwriter, mellower stuff. And I've been moving more in that direction. And then when this project came along, it was like, oh, I want to make some heavy stuff. You can never
Yeah.
get rid of the heavy stuff, you know. But also just seeing where it'll go, you know.
I
How
must
do
say,
those lyrics just burst out of you, Arno? Don't you write anything
okay,
down before? Do you just listen to the music and then
yeah. So I listen to what he's done, and obviously there's a melody, and also the melody will tell you what the movie is about. You can hear if it's ominous or it's spring or the sun is coming up or the sun's going down. It instantly tells you a story, and then you, out of that story, you pick up some words, and then it's a flow of consciousness. You mumble stuff. I'm very fluent because I was a Springbok drinker as well. I'm very fluent in slur. So then you mumble shit, and then you start out of the mumbles, you start writing the words, and eventually it becomes something. But what was interesting was on this project working with Evert is Evert sent me most of the songs, but most musicians, because we are mathematically inclined, each song is a mathematical equation, and it normally consists out of intro, verse, chorus, middle eight, or solo, middle eight, chorus. But with Evert, he doesn't understand the mathematics of normality. So I tried to write, I was humming different things in my head over the phone, but I could never stick because I couldn't find out where's the song, because it's all over the place. So I said to him, man, I'm just going to come to your house. Let's just give it a go. Let's just really just give it a go. And basically I flew up to Joburg. We got together and we did about 8 songs in that one day and 2 more on the next day. And it's the freshest sounding stuff. Rock for me these days are very difficult. I've always been an alternative rock guy. I'm not so big into the big cock rock thing, but this is definitely the freshest, some of the freshest stuff that I've been involved with, and that is going to be out there for a little bit. It's really fun. Short songs, super full impact. Every song should be released as a single because it's a little bit overpowering, but it's like extreme sport type of music.
Yes, quite a barrage on your psyche. Like even like when I have listened to it, it's quite intense stuff. But I think
Yeah.
as well, in the beginning it was like a couple of songs, and then after we recorded the first time, then I made a couple more, and then you start picking up the vibe and going from there, you know. But the cool thing is, I never know how the hell it's going to come out, and that's kind of exciting for me. Not knowing
Yes.
how it's going to come out, because that's the whole thing. Because you were saying like my understanding of the normal song formula. Like I like this normal song formula. I mean, I grew up with that stuff, but I just love it when things happen that you don't expect. It just
Well,
makes more exciting.
that is what makes things interesting. And I think with time, as we get older, like I say, it's a kind of a youthful ignorant bliss of energy, because you just do wild stuff, you know. And the older you get, the more conservative I think you get, because I don't feel like throwing up just after I had a laugh, you know, or, you know what I'm saying. Jumping from one place to another is just a lot of work.
Oh God, you do. Yeah, I've heard, like I said, some of the tracks, and I must say, I can listen to maybe half or a whole one at a time. But yeah, it's they're cool, man. I'm excited for you guys to release it. You're going to be touring together a little bit later this year, so exciting for both of you. Yeah, so let's move on to some harder topics, and really why we are trying to work towards creating this new music economy in a way. Before we do that, though, sorry, I meant to say hi to Llewellyn. Llewellyn posted the most beautiful story in the comments about when his daughter was born, and a few hours after her birth, she was laying on his chest, and they were playing Chip Still by Arno. And they're back in they're back in the US, and now when his daughter's restless, the only thing that soothes her is Chip Still. So that's so cool. Thank you for sharing that, Llewellyn. That's so awesome.
Enjoy the US.
Yeah, enjoy the US. All right. Yeah, let's talk about this topic. Let's talk about the state of the music industry and why we're all working together here at Stax to create something that is possibly going to change the game. I want to just remind the audience as well, before we move into this topic, that please stick around, because later on in the show, Evert and Arno are going to be performing the tracks from this upcoming album, When Walls Break. So please stick around. I think that's going to be like super cool. All right. The music industry at the moment has got a pretty tough reputation, right? The artists are kind of having to tour extensively to subsidize an income for themselves, because record labels, streaming platforms, it's just always been not in favor of artists. It's been in favor of these kind of big megalithic behemoths, or whatever you want to call them, that basically just taken control of artists' income. There's been a huge, I think, more and more, and I think it's probably got to do with social media. We see it more and more now. It's more and more public, that I think you've got to make $1, you need a good couple of hundred streams before you even make $1. So let's talk about your experiences with record deals, streaming platforms. How do you see this model? What are your opinions on, because I've got a hell of a big opinion. I've shared it with the Stax community a lot. I write about it. Tell me about your experience and what you think.
You want to go first, Arno? Okay. Should I go first?
All right. So, you know, record deals, if you look at the kind of people that's in the music industry, the music industry history is littered with maybe a little bit of suspect type of deals and stuff. There's a big history of exploiting artists and stuff like that. I must say, my experience with it is, yes, record companies did expose us to because of the power of the name, but then they also pigeonholed you. So there's pros and cons. But what I'm trying to say is that we made stupid deals sometimes because, and we made these deals because everybody was doing it, and only afterwards you realize, ooh, that is crap. A lot of artists got nailed like that. Today is a different world. Basically, it angers me, the fact that we create something. I pay 120,000 Rand to create an album, and then you'll make 300 Rand back. I don't know what this is in pounds and dollars. It's like a million streams is $18,000, which is ridiculous money. It's stupid. So the formula of streaming, of taking, being paid 0.02% or something for work that you did, and then the record company taking 50% of that, is ridiculous. And that there's not a lawyer out there that hasn't taken this whole thing to court. I mean, obviously there's some red tape, so most lawyers must know that it's an unwinnable situation. But it's a crazy. I know the world is crazy, but I think music was the first one to fall, and now the movie industry and the TV industry is the next to fall. Because at the end of the day, you don't really have to pay to stream all the latest music, latest movies for free. If you really want to, you can do that. So the new digital world has turned musicians into glorified stamp collectors, and is slowly but surely killing the band format. And now you just have a whole lot of solo artists in the world, because it's too expensive to have a band, because it doesn't make sense anymore to travel with them, because everything is so expensive. There's a lot of crazy stuff. So therefore, I am especially, I see a little light at the end of the tunnel for us artists in Web3, in putting music videos onto NFTs, because NFTs has got more worth than music. So I've done it before. We've done it before. I've done it with Good Kitty. I put out an album, then I recorded the album, a live version of the album, and we shot it. It got shot by 4 or 5 cameras on green screen. I took the footage afterwards. I edited it down. I had the song mixed, and then I sell the video on an NFT, and then I sell 100 of the songs. So the original songs are still out on the streaming world, where it makes no money, but it's cool because it's for free. And then the NFTs brought in enough money to actually record another song. So the light is for real. And then also, as much as the pros and cons of the digitalization of the world goes, the fact is, paintings, I can make extra money now from NFTs and stuff, where before this I could only make money from the painting and the prints. Now I can sell the NFTs. So for as much as it's taken away, there's a window being opened on this format, and therefore this is a road to go down.
Yeah, look, it's a tough one, because like you were saying, I mean, with streams, it's 0.00032 cents per stream that an artist earns. And we're talking about an industry that, by the year 2030 is going to be worth $2-3 trillion. This is a huge amount of money if you take the touring, if you take the streaming, and all together. So when you look at things like ticketing, this could be done where money could go directly to the artist. Selling your music on platforms like Gated, where the income goes directly to the artist, there's a lot of opportunity there to rectify what is wrong with this industry. And I think it's one of the only industries in the world where, you know, musicians are making, you know, 8% of the pie, and they're creating the product, you know.
Yes,
What
100%.
do you, what do you think, Evert? Have you got anything to add to this horror show?
It's just making me want to smoke more cigarettes because I get more angry about it. But I mean, if you think about it, like the way that I always, and I probably still consume music to this day, except if I can't get a hard copy of something, I still haven't like having the hard copy. And I mean, back in the day, the only way that you could listen to that band or that artist was going and buying their CD, and then you would have it and be able to listen to it. Now it's everywhere, and the value has gone down. Once everything is available everywhere, it's not that special anymore. I mean, think about the Mona Lisa. Why is it so amazing? Because that you can have a copy of it everywhere, but there's only one Mona Lisa. That's what makes it all. And
And
like
that's
the value,
the digital
yeah,
thing then makes it worth so much more.
yeah, that's why I'm saying, look, this ties into the NFT thing. It's like it's something that's there, and it's not everyone has it. It's like something that's special. It makes it special again, and it kind
Yeah.
of gives the power a bit more back to the artist making the stuff. Because I mean, the way I think of making music, I make it because I love it. I've never expected anything from music. I mean, that's why I run a studio. That's how I sustain myself, is by recording people and running a studio and doing that kind of jazz. And I also love doing that. But I mean, I just wish it could go back. I mean, there's no way. The music industry has been screwing people for many artists for many years. I mean, even back in the day when record labels were a bigger thing, you'd still be working in arrears with them because you'd have to pay off what they would pay for your making your album and the promotion, the marketing, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's why I record myself. I've been recording myself for 16 years because I just cut out the middleman there completely. But the thing is, it looks good to be on a label. It does look good. But the thing is, then
Yeah.
your label should be doing something for you. And I promise you, people just want to hit the marks. If you think of how television is also starting to go down, it's like everything has to fit a certain, it has to tick a couple of boxes everywhere. And that's when art ceases to become art for me. Like if something comes out and you like it and you don't know why you like it, and it's something that's different, that's what makes it awesome. And I mean, we don't really have that anymore. Everything's like cookie cutter. I don't know.
Look, I
Yes.
must say, because I'm a music nerd, I'm living in heaven, right? Because music is for free, and because I was a young boy and a music lover in the 80s. I used to sit and record songs on my tape deck from radio. so I still do it now. Every 2 weeks, I make a playlist. I have to search really hard for good music, but I get it. There's a lot of good stuff out there. You just got to look for it. So I still, like I say, I live in heaven because I'm a music nerd. But then again, the price I pay for that is the fact that I create stuff because I love it. I just don't get paid for it. But then again, also, here's the other thing. I've always been a niche, alternate, alt rock artist, right? And you're a niche of a niche of a niche. And the fact is, I've never really made a lot of money from CD sales and stuff like that. You know, over the years, probably a bit, but not. It was never enough to sustain. I had to play live, and I love playing live. So I make a living from playing live music. Music is almost a flyer, but it's a flyer that I love. You know.
Mm. Yeah.
If you also
Look,
think about the way, like if you go to say like a market, like a secondhand market where you're going to go thrifting or whatever, you don't know what you're going to find. And then when you find something that's really awesome and you get it, it's like, well, this is cool. This is something that's special. Music today is not that.
yeah.
Or music.
No. You must just look. I'll send you my stuff. I do send it to you, but there's gems in there, man.
No, I'm not taking away that there isn't gems of music everywhere. But the thing is, if I put it into that context, I go to a pawn shop and it just has every product or thing that I would want, then it's not going to make it any special. Like having a limit on something. It's like if you think of life, why is life so precious? because it ends. It's special, you know what I mean? That's what
Don't
makes things.
talk about the end.
Yes, on that note, but I think the nice thing with Gated, just going back to what you guys are saying before we kind of move into the live performance, because we are coming up on the hour. I think what's interesting about Gated is that it allows musicians, so you can make the music copies limited. You can make only 25 copies of your song. That means only 25 copies exist in the world. You can
Wow.
make one copy of your song so that there's only one copy in the world. And the nice thing with Gated is that you obviously can't listen to the songs unless you own them. And but an artist can also add things, add products to his profile. So you can, if you buy the track, for example, get a vinyl, or if you buy the album digitally, the artist can send you a vinyl, or the artist can send you merch, or you can open up through your NFT, open up to channels that can buy those products. So this changes the game in ways you can't even imagine yet, giving artists complete control over their careers. That's why a platform like Gated, a blockchain like Stacks, like Bitcoin, is going to change the game for musicians, for artists everywhere. So it is very, very exciting. And I'm really thrilled to have the musicians that we have got on board. I just want to say, I saw Reese Swanepoel is here. Hi, Reese. As I mentioned earlier, if you buy the full album, because on Gated, you can either choose to buy singles, so you can buy 3 singles if you only want. There's 8 on the album. But if you press buy album, you also receive a very, very special artwork by our very own Reese Swanepoel. So you're only going to get that artwork and see the full artwork because it's partially blurred out on the album cover if you buy the full album. So very exciting. Peace, just another hello to you. Thank you very much. I am so focused on building solutions. So yes, indeed. All right, and who else have we got here that's popped in? Let's have a look. Oh, I can't scroll up far enough. So, oh, Andy, I saw you here. Welcome, Andy. Thanks so much for joining us. So yeah, pop some comments in the chat, because I'm going to try and give everybody a shout out as we go. And it also makes the artists know that you are here and you are listening. So any questions, pop them in there. So yeah, I think we've covered really how we think blockchain can change, right? We understand the importance of it, and we understand that it's giving you control back after these years and years and years and decades. I mean, the first record label, 108 years ago, Columbia, is still one of the biggest record labels in the world. I mean, have you ever, they control it, you know, along with Sony. So anyway.
I'm all for other people's success. And we must just watch out that musicians don't sound like victims constantly.
No, that's my job to be moan and moan.
Solving the problem. So yes, it sucks, but that's why we're here, to make it awesome.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's why I want to move on to some positivity now that I've got you. Yeah, now that I've got you to complain, let's go. Let's go. Okay, I am super, super excited because we're going to end off the show with some performances. But we're going to start with you, Evert, if that's okay. Your track is called I Shouldn't Break. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it? What inspired it? Before you play it, let's get a little bit of behind the scenes info on what that song's about and anything else you want to mention.
It's a love song for my wife, basically.
Oh,
how beautiful!
I wrote it before we started dating. or we had just started dating, and I was still in the mode of like, is this going to be nice or is this going to be bad? And then it just kept being really great and nice, and yeah, that's where it came from. The me not brag, like I shouldn't brag for a while. It's like I said, I should be satisfied for a while, but I'm still. I mean, we're 4 years in now, and I'm still quite satisfied. So that's basically what it's about. Most of the stuff I write, I would just write. I try to write what I know, and I try to write what's happening in my life. So that's the long. Okay, let me grab my gather.
Here we go. I want to see some applause from in the comments, please. Hands together. Let's give them an applause.
Woohoo!
Okay, here we go. There's so much space. Almost feels like the burdens are died. Won't hide my face. Nothing left to deny. Why do I feel so light? Keep shut the door with my mind. All I have is time. Why do I feel so light? Should be overjoyed, 'cause I haven't been here for a while. No void to fill. I shouldn't break for a while. Why do I feel so light? Can shut the door with my mind. All I have is time. Why do I feel so light? I should be petrified. I better ride this high. La, da, 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 da. La, da, 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 da. La, da.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
she's
you so
sitting here right next to me.
Pardon?
My wife's sitting right next to me, so it's nice. She just made eyes to me.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I seem to be echoing. Eh? Yeah, I can hear the echo. No.
Gigs.
Oh, that's Arno's dog.
Right. What are you calling me?
Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you very much, Evert. Beautiful song. And we've got some awesome hand clapping going on in the audience. Let's have a look. We've got Andy, we've got Vessel, we've got Llewellyn, we've got Natasha, we've got GPSC. You're in the house. Good to have you. GPSC has got a mint coming up soon. I can see there's a Tremp whitelist. What do you call those things? Barcode or scanny things or whatever at the top of the screen. So whitelists going out there for GPSC's new mint. And yeah, so awesome response from the audience. Evert, thank you very, very much. And so that's the track. That's Evert's track, I Shouldn't Break. It's just the live version. A live version. And the track's going to be available on When Walls Break on the 19th of November, being released on gated.so. Like I said earlier, you can, as a sneak peek, and I'm only telling people in the audience, you can head over to gated.so. Gary is still busy developing it. So this is just a page that Gary and I are working on to kind of get the platform right. So it's not how you're going to receive it when we mint, but to the people in the audience, head over there and you can actually listen to 30-second samples from each of the artists. The artworks are blurred out. We've got artworks coming from a lot of Stax OG artists. The Artist, Vandal from Project Indigo, Ronan from Nonish. We've got Carol Levy from Gamma. She does incredible dot work. We've got Grace High, an artist in Paris. Who else have we got? We've got some amazing artists. So the art is also just legendary. I think you guys are going to love it. Yeah, big alpha, Reese. So yeah, you can head over after the show and don't tell anyone. It's for your ears only, but you can hear 30-second samples of each of the tracks. Okay, Arno's track is called Mortals. Before you give us a little sneak peek on what it's going to sound like, do you want to tell us a little bit about the song?
So Mortals is about just me from an objective viewpoint, trying to be objective, looking at the situation. You know, artists are kind of a mirror to the population. So Mortals is sort of, it comes down to what you think today. Your convictions of today is not your convictions will not be your convictions of tomorrow. And basically, it's just tuning people, telling people to just relax. Everything's fine. Relax, don't fight. Just chill out. Can I do it?
Yeah, go for it. Come on.
Can't for the death of me emphasize the beauty that I see in your wandering eyes so bewildering. It's you who punched the holes in the roof that night, who stayed up till they arrived alive, expecting the worst. Flow like water when the flames are on the loose. Baba weave, take it on the cheek, nobody leave. Firefighters smoldering in the heat. Mortals we will never leave. That's why we seldom return to the moon. They had to separate the crazies from the rest of the neighborhood. We are teenagers, wild as beasts, as we feast on ourselves cause we can't beat misery. Mortals, ooh, alright, oh, stand down, don't fight. Alright, oh, mortals, yeah, stand down, relax, that's right. We are forgiven to assume that our peace on this way never ending. Basking in the light of day, I'm offended by every single thing that breaks the silence. about who punched the holes in the roof that night and who stayed up till they arrived alive for the broken to come home. Boldly racing to the end. As soon as you have a friend, fighters cooling in the rain, ready to start again. Flow like water cause the flames are on the loose. Bob a weave, take it on the cheap, nobody leave. Firefighters smoldering in the heat, mortals we can never leave. That's why we never return to the womb. We just floating in the river of synchronicity. That's why we never return to the moon. We just floating on the river, try to be all we can be. Mortals, mortals, oh, alright, oh, stand down, don't fight. Alright, oh, mortals, mortals, oh, relax. That's right, don't fight.
Absolutely so cool, Arno.
Evert, you ever do that?
Huh?
That's how you clap. You see, he's never on the other side of the clapping. That's who you clap.
I'm clapping.
Oh my God, guys.
That
was so cool. I wish we could get some more. I just want to say hey to Gary. Gary is in the house. Now, Gary is building our platform, gated.so. Like I said, you could head over there for a sneak peek at the music. Don't tell anybody else. Hi to Radioactive. Good to see you here. Who else is here that I've missed? Natasha. Oh, I've said hi to you just now. So absolute cost of everything. Ace, you're in the house. Nikos, so much applause during the tracks. So really, everybody absolutely loved it. And remember, coming out 19th of November, the album When Walls Break on Gated. This is especially for the Stax community. You cannot hear the songs unless you purchase the NFT. We haven't decided yet how many tracks we are going to release, but it could
1
be
million. 2 million, please. Just 2 million. I want it to be special.
100. So I just want you guys to know that if you want the track, you need to be there early. Remember as well that if you mint, there's a button that says buy album. If you buy the full album, you receive a copy of the actual album artwork that has been created by Reese Swanepoel. It is a beautiful piece of work, and I'm sure you want to earn that in your collection. So press the buy album button. If you don't want to do that, you can also buy track by track. So it's entirely up to you.
Hi,
the album,
Natasha.
Pardon?
I'm saying hi, Natasha. There's a lady here that said hello. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to
No, it's fine. You can say hi to anybody in the audience.
Attie van Wyk? My jene.
No, Attie isn't here.
Alta van Wyk. Sorry, guys.
Arno's glasses don't work properly, clearly. Yeah, man, come on. I wish we could get, we need to make these shows a little bit longer and have a little bit more music going, because it's really nice to hear you guys sing. But yeah, this is specifically about these two tracks, Mortals by Arno Carstens and I Shouldn't Break by Evert Snyman.
I would just like to add to this that me and Evert's project coming out, supposed to be October, November. I don't know when it's coming out, but soon we are definitely also going to jump into the NFT vibes to launch our new project as well.
Awesome. Awesome. You guys are coming in hard. I also want to put it out there, if you guys know of any musicians who are interested in jumping on board with Gated, we do have a block survey form at goodkitty.xyz. Click on BlockTune. You will see a submit your music button. We are welcoming new musicians with open arms, because we want to give everybody, this is free for everybody. There's no record label saying you can't. This is now for you to come into, and we're going to build it together. And we're starting with When Walls Break, because that's what we're doing. We're breaking down the walls. So yeah, those are the artists that are on the screen now. Thank you, Nick. Josie Field, there's Evert, there's Arno. We've got Khan Murby. We've got Laurie Levine, Jacques Mulman, Art Matthews, who's in the house, and Zander, who is doing it with his band, Gazelle. So Nick, if you want to scroll down for the Stacks community, they'll recognize a lot of these artists. We've got Ronan, we've got Chemical X, we've got Carol Levy, Nartan Faree, he's actually got an artwork up for auction now on Gamma. We've also got Grace High, we've got the artist from The Guests, Teflon Musk, one of my favorite people in the NFT space, and then John from Project Indigo. So those are all the artists who've worked with the musicians. These aren't the actual artworks. This is just to show you their style. They've each created a special artwork that has been inspired. They were all sent the tracks, and they created special artworks specifically for you for the album and for the track. So yeah, guys, have you got any closing comments? Anything you want to add? Anything I didn't cover? Any more songs you want to play?
I would like to say one more thing, that I have been listening to the album, to the whole album, of course, in the whole. And I've been part of many compilations, and this is an awesome compilation because it's so chilled out. You can just put it on, and I love Laurie Levine and Josie Fields. The female songs on it is really awesome, and all the quality of Khan's song is amazing. Zander is weird and amazing, and whatever. But the fact is, it's a flippin' awesome album, and I'm really happy to be, like I'm sure all the other artists are, to be on the first of this. Hopefully, something that will continue into the future of bringing in new artists to this kind of thought process.
I just want to say thank you. I'm really grateful to be part of this. For me as well, it's also nice. The specific song that's on it of mine is more of a showcase of more of my Mellowware stuff, which is something that doesn't happen a lot. So it's kind of nice as well for me. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for this project. I think it's going to be awesome. Or really is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, guys. Thank you very much again to Nick at Bitcoin Live DB. He's behind the scenes, bringing us all the extra visuals and making sure it all sounds awesome. So please give them a follow on Twitter as well. We've got shows every week. So please join us every Saturday at the same time. We're streaming from YouTube. We're also streaming onto Twitter, onto Facebook. So keep an eye out for the rest of the shows. We've got Art Matthews coming up. We've got Khan Mubi coming up. We've got Josie Field, Laurie Levine, Zander, Jacques Mullman. So a bunch of really awesome shows for you to listen to. They'll all be performing live. And then on the 19th of November, we'll see you live on Twitter for the Mint. So follow myself as well, Good Kitty. So it's at This Kitty Is Good on Twitter. We got all the info coming out there. And yeah, just super awesome to have you both here. Thank you, Arno. Thank you, Evert.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. See you around soon. And thank you very much to everybody who joined. Thank you to everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Every place we get to go, everyone will want to know what we bring from Africa. Let it flow, let it flow.
So much space.
I'm struggling to find a reason. Need another song, if it's only an illusion.
Wondering, I so bewildered. It's you.
You make it alright.